welcome all.
Sure.
Yeah, we are here back again with our Fitness Friday activity. We team Nasik IMA, our president Dr. Hemant Sonani sir, our secretary Gadekar madam, myself host for today Dr. Rahul Sononi and Kiran Rajul madam. Welcome you all for this activity.
Hello.
So before chatting with our today's hero, I would like to show a small film based upon his one of the expedition he done from Leh to Manali. So I request Kiran ma'am to show that video.
Yes, sir. Is it audible?
Yes.
हेलो, कैसे लग रहा है आपको?
मजाक मजाक में कुछ ज़्यादा ही एक्सट्रीम हो गया। एडवेंचर की डेफिनेशन चेंज हो गई है अभी।
It was something very different, which I have never done before.
Leh to Manali.
We're going to go through 4 high altitude passes. No matter how much you acclimatize, that is definitely going to have an effect on the body of the entire crew and the rider as well.
This is a team with people coming from different backgrounds. However, what brings us together is the common goal, I would say. And it's just amazing how this team works like a perfectly well-oiled machine.
It's plain fun being around with people with whom you can forget about everything else and just be in the moment with.
The temperatures were between -5 to -12 degrees Celsius. It was like I am in the deep freezer and I just can't go anywhere.
हमारा रेडियो बंद है क्या? हेलो? अरे हम तब से
Basically, I learned that we can push our body to any limit. Only that willpower is required.
आप लोग ने ऐसे नहीं कर सकते। मेरे को छोड़ के वहाँ पे 2 किलोमीटर और यहाँ पे आके खड़े हो गए हो।
वो अपना टूल लेके आ,
मेरी तरफ इशारा होना चाहिए। अब इसको छोड़ दो ना साइड में जमीन पे, क्यों इसको पकड़ के खड़े हो? -12 पहुँच गए। -12।
चलो 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 चलो।
Hi. The name itself of the film suggests how much energy we got from this, and it was really difficult to ride in such extreme climatic condition. Hats off to our today's guest. So I take opportunity to welcome an ultra cyclist, podium finisher for virtual race across America, Guinness record holder for multiple cycling expedition, fastest from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, 6,000 kilometer cycling expedition across 4 major cities of India, Golden Quadrilateral, and the one we just saw, Leh to Manali, at the highest altitude of India and extreme climatic condition. He is popularly known as Bharat Ka Bharat in cycling community. So I take opportunity to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Pannu sir. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Rahul, and thanks, Kiran ma'am. It is such a wonderful opportunity to speak to you all. And Nasik is very close to my heart.
So सभी मित्रांनो नमस्कार.
Oh, that's good.
So as you said, sir, कि नासिक is very close to your heart. तो आप बता सकते हैं कि what is the relation between your cycling and नासिक?
अगर ब्रीफ में अगर मैं इसे बोलना चाहूँ तो अगर जहाँ पे मैं आज हूँ यहाँ पे मैं नहीं होता अगर मैं नासिक में अपनी साइकिलिंग स्टार्ट नहीं करता. नासिक कम्युनिटी हर किसी को बहुत एनकरेज करती है आगे बढ़ने के लिए. सिर्फ एनकरेज ही नहीं करती, हर तरीके से सपोर्ट भी करती है. एंड दैट सेज इट ऑल.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So then knowing this, your journey, it is really enthusiastic and the what level you have come now. So what was your turning point at what age that you took cycling as a passion, or what makes you drive to pursue this journey, and how do you find it till now?
So first of all, like I want to mention that I was never a sportsman, never an athlete. I never used to take part in any sports, whether in my school days, my college, even in army also. I was never a athlete. I used to just pass my mandatory test. जब मेरा आर्मी में सिलेक्शन हुआ तो my relatives and my friends were doubtful whether he will be able to complete his training also or not successfully, but I just managed to sail through everything. But there is something in his mind which just ticks off and you just start something which you always feel for. So cycling was my mode of conveyance since my childhood for all my schools, tuition. When I joined college, then after that for 15 years it was full stop. There was no cycling till I started it again for fitness in 2015. And from 2015 I was posted in 2015 I was posted in Jammu. And as I started cycling, I used to do it for 1 hour every day in the morning. And I used to consider that I am the best, because at that point of time, the number of friends with whom my friends, officers, fellow officers, I used to cycle, like I was the best one. I was the best climber there. So I thought like I'm the best, I'm very good. So when I came to Nasik, I realized that there is something missing. I'm not the best. I'm not even anywhere. I'm nowhere, because the maximum distance which I had ridden in Jammu, like I was like that kuएं का मेंढक. I was just not aware कि what is the extent I can go up to, or anyone can go up to. So when I came to Nasik, the maximum distance I had ridden was 38 kilometers, and I used to like I've done 38. It is too good. So when I joined Nasik, I got to know people are doing 100, 200, 400, 600, 1000, 1500, 5000. Even people are doing 9000. So like there was no limit. So at that point of time, that kick which that feeling which was there inside me that I'm the best, that continued, and I just made it in my mind that I should continue it. If I can do it, prove it there, so I should just try to prove it here as well. And the support which I got from the fellow cyclists, starting from Mahendra Mahajan sir, and then Darshan Dubey, everybody. So that continued, and I'm
Oh.
here today.
So it's proud to know the Nasik doctors, hip hip hooray.
Yeah.
That the turning point was Nasik for Panu sir too. So it's a proud moment for us also. So now, as you know, this Nasik is a very dynamic city. As you've been around here, the doctors are equally dynamic. So this fitness group is really they are beginners to Ironman. All category of endurance is here, and people are into all sports activity. So I would like to know for the beginners, actually the doctors getting professionally busy till 40s, and then they start their fitness at times lately. So what will be your advice as a start in late around 35 to 40s, and what are the cycle specification you would advise for them? So as a rider and as a technical dependent, the cycle specifications, what advice will you give for these beginners?
So as of you yourself told that there are people who are just there is like everyone in the community who are just trying to do Ironman and big races. People do marathons there regularly. I've done my marathon with the doctors community in Nasik itself. So people are as such aware of many things and they are well acquainted. but still, whatever I have done, what I thought when I started, I considered myself as beginner, so I never considered myself as a beginner. So uh, that doesn't mean that it was in the mindset, I believe, that when I bought my first cycle, it was a full carbon bike. So I never thought in my mind that I should just start with a normal bike and then graduate to something better. So it is always in the mind that what you aim for. If you're aiming for the stars, then you have to prepare that way. So
Okay.
it is all in the mindset. You have to get the best of the equipment. If you have got the best of the equipment, then it will help you in getting best of the results, because it is a combined effect which will help you propel ahead. And with consideration to the specifications of the bike which you need, it depends upon the goal which you set for yourself. I think that is the most important thing. If you and it is not bad to be a just to be a casual cyclist. It is really good to be a casual cyclist also, and going for casual rides in the weekends. It should not be if somebody is not doing Ironman or somebody is not doing competitions, then he's not a good he's not a strong person. One, it depends upon what you want from yourself. So it depends upon your goal, what you want. And if you're a casual cyclist, you can just enjoy on a MTB or a hybrid. And you are goal oriented, then depends upon whether you want an aero bike, you want an endurance bike, or a time trial bike.
So you need to be focused and goal oriented for to come to this stage. That's the quick note, click home message. Yes, Rahul sir.
Yeah. Now, after selecting your cycle as advised by Bharat sir, so I would like to know how you should prepare yourself for each ride, like for pre-ride and post-ride workout, or what any physical strength training you should do, or routine daily cycling. What all things you should do before cycling and after finishing your ride.
So whenever, like, if I'm preparing myself for a training ride, and like from last year, training rides have become two sort of training rides. Earlier it used to be just outdoors. Now training rides are indoors also. So when we are going outdoors, my checklist used to be, first of all, my nutrition. It has to be catered for the complete ride. I rarely used to depend upon the local shops to even to buy a banana also. Like, I used to carry about 10 to 12 bananas with me, so that I don't have to stop for at least my nutrition. The only thing which I used to stop for was for hydration. So first thing is nutrition, that I cater for the complete ride. uh, my like maximum ride training ride goes up to 270 to 280 kilometers. So for even for that duration also, I take my nutrition along with me. And second thing is hydration, that is also important. And hydration is just not hydration, it is also electrolyte. If you are doing strenuous exercise, then also you have to include BCAA into your along with the electrolytes. And if you are training for something special, like if you want to add on to liquid diet also, so then you need to add carb plus protein powder. There are several available in the market, that also you can add to your hydration as a liquid diet. Third thing is tools and spares, uh, and how to use them also. You should know how to use the tools and spares what you are carrying with you. Lights, if I'm starting my ride early in the morning, batteries. And other than that, pump is very important. And I always carry a radio equipment, Bluetooth based radio equipment with me, so that I can answer my calls non-stop, even on the go. I don't have to stop for my, because I'm an army person, and I have to answer, I have to be on call always. I cannot tell that like I'm on a ride and I'm not available right now, because we are, as you have seen the movie of Akshay Kumar, soldier kabhi chutti pe nahi hota.
Like doctors.
Yes, yes.
And after finishing your ride, like what all things you are supposed to do, like stretching or any specific workouts, and like any nutrition things, hydration after finishing the ride.
Yes. Sorry, I missed that part. So after finishing, like my rides, it the final part of my ride that is about 15 minutes. So my stretching starts on the bike itself. I try to stretch the maximum possible on my bike itself. I rotate my hand, I move my shoulder because they become better rigid, and flex my legs. So that starts on the bike itself. As soon as I reach home, I do stretching exercises for about 10 to 15 minutes. If possible, a quick roller massage. It depends upon the time. Roller massage is very important to just relax the muscles. uh, I take a protein shake immediately within 10 to 15 minutes as my ride finishes. Good protein shake. After that, a good bath. There are two type of baths which I do myself. One is ice bath that helps in faster recovery, and the second one is the hot water bath mixed with the Epsom salt. So
Okay.
so that finishes that is bath till bath, and after that I apply oil on my body and just go for a good have a good meal and just go for good sleep.
Okay. So
Sleep is also
basically,
part of sleep is also part of good a good recovery.
yeah. So basically, the muscle soreness which get after each ride. So those muscles should be recovered properly before you go for your next ride. Your body should be prepared properly for your next ride. So after finishing every ride, it's not like that. Ki, yeah, I have done a long distance ride and I'll go to bed and now I'll take a rest. So it's not like that. Sure, right, sir?
So like my post ride regime goes for 2 hours, and like
Okay.
that 2 hours is in those 2 hours I don't try to do anything. It finishes with my meal, bath, everything. Like it has to be dedicated 2 hours. That is part of my training itself.
Okay. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Now, evening, I just called sir to remind that this route is this gentle reminder for yeah, today's meet, and he was riding 100. So, how many kilometers you did today?
I realized that I was mistaken that the call was at 9. So, but you reminded that it is at 8. So
Oh,
I had to cut short, and I did only 63.
Okay.
so he was like he's on a 100th century ride, and then I think he had to cut short. Okay, so it was good to hear you on ride. Importantly, when you start the ride, there are since you are always being riding kilometers, miles and miles. So, what are the common injuries you've encountered in the long rides, and how do you prevent them?
So
So, what precautions you take to prevent these injuries?
bike fit is the most important thing, and if there is a slight misfit of yourself on the bike, then it will result into injuries. That is the first thing. Second thing, the posture, how you ride, how you cleat and uncleat your legs, uh, how you, because these are long rides, as Rahul had seen me when he was crewing me for golden quadrilateral. So in the daytime I just take one break, and that too is for just 10 to 15 minutes at around 1 p.m. in afternoon. So since morning till evening 5 to 6 or 7, I just take one break, and in between I'm just riding on the bike for 5 to 6 hours continuously. So I have to stretch also myself. So as I just found the question you had asked is the how to
Is that
prevent injuries.
Prevent
So
injuries.
injuries?
injuries.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
injuries is that like you have to just keep yourself. The mobility has to be good. Uh, so I used to do stretching on the bike itself. I don't used to wait for that physiotherapy session, which will happen to me for 10 minutes in the afternoon. I used to keep my muscles, legs, everything moving on the bike itself, so that I don't stretch. Like they don't get into some a post. It doesn't get into one posture itself. uh, Bike fit was the first one. So bike fit, I had faced myself several problems due to bike fit. It was due to two reasons: that the graduation, uh, the like with the speed which I started cycling, and I went to like doing so many kilometers. So that developed many problems for me. One was like I had a left left knee pain that continued for about 1.5 years. It started with my ride in race Ultra Spice race in 2017 January. and it continued till Deccan Cliffhanger in 2018. So that, like, it was a long time. I have met several people like who, due to pain, they just leave cycling. So it is a advice for them that you don't have to leave cycling. You have to introspect yourself, and you have to find the solution for that pain. And so you have to explore several avenues. So I consider myself as an example that if and that knee pain was severe, it was very severe. And but I could have left cycling, but something was kicking in my mind that no, I can't leave cycling. I have to find a solution for this, and it took me more than 1 year to find that solution. Other than this, uh, bike fitness, you have to keep yourself safe. I avoid training rides. I never try to do training rides at night, because it is dicey. It is a training ride. I can do it at daytime itself. Even I do night training only when my daytime schedule is not permitting me to do training. So these things have to be kept in mind. Most important.
Most of the
As
thing
you,
you have most
yeah,
of the thing you have covered as a nutrition as when you start with the ride. So is there any your checklist for every ride, even if the small ride like century ride must be very small ride for you and thousands of kilometers, but then what is a checklist which you always see for as personally for you as a rider and as a cycling gadgets which you need to be there? So these are the must thing which you need to carry, and especially for the night ride. So what is your checklist?
So night ride, first of all, the goggles have to be compatible to night riding. They have to be that glare-free ride goggles. I need to have a reflective vest and all reflective reflectors on my bike. Uh, Nighttime nutrition I have already covered. I cater for nutrition in various aspects. Like I carry liquid nutrition always with me. As a backup also, there is always a backup of liquid nutrition in sachet, as well as electrolyte for myself, that I always bring it home. But it should not ever happen, because my coach always says that you should have always extra spare nutrition with you, but you should never feel lack of nutrition should never be there, because when lack of nutrition is there, you tend to burn out your lean muscle, which is not advisable, because you're going out for training. You're not going out for burning your muscles which you have gained out of the training. So that thing is there. Other than this, tools and spares very important. Other My all gadgets should be charged before I leave. It rarely happens that my gadgets were not charged. So anything specific if you want to ask, because this
Yeah,
thing.
anything specific in the gadgets what you carry, and as a maintenance, bike maintenance, it's a team when it's supporting, it's a different scenario, and when you go as a solo rider. So what is the important gadgets you carry, and they are the must one to carry?
So gadgets, I carry my cycling computer always with me, and that is the Garmin 1000H. Second thing is my radio equipment. Uh, it was having a single battery, and it used to last for about 10 hours. So I just opened it up, fitted it with a second spare battery inside itself, and then fixed it again. So now it gives me backup for more than 16 hours. So that is the second thing, the radio equipment, because I'm always on Bluetooth. It is good for my music as well as for attending calls hands free. And that is there. Then I carry oxygen. This not oxygen, sorry, the CO2 cylinder cartridges, so that if I land up into a puncture, I just change the tube and just use the CO2 cartridge to fill it up. I Punches, like I avoid getting into a situation where I land up into punches. So therefore, I always use good tires while my training during my training ride also. It rarely happens that the tire is worn out and I'm landing up into punches. So that is very important. The bike is always maintained. It is like never happens that like the chain is black and there is muck in the cassette, because the rides are long, and even in one ride the bike requires maintenance. So before my next ride, I always maintain my bike and go. I change the chain, always see if there is any wear tear in the bike, and always mend it before going. I'm blessed that I am having multiple bikes, so always wear and tear generally takes place. So, but my training ride doesn't suffer. Like I always take, like I take a alternate bike and just move on. But maintenance is also very important.
Okay, yeah.
You,
Then to summarize, I think your bike should be properly fit. You have a proper reflector vest on your body. You should have front light, back light with extra spare batteries. You know what? Many times we forget to take extra batteries, and we are not like last time when we have changed the batteries. So during night time, the back and front light are very important things. You should have extra light and extra chargeable cells with you. So and also additional as I have seen sir riding for many rides. Many times they put reflector on their bike also, like radium. So it is generally visible to other commuters on the road. So when you should have reflector vest on your body also and on your bike also, right, sir?
yes, very important. And one tip which I always like, which I use for myself, for the rear light, it lasts very long. There's no need to carry a spare battery for the rear light. It generally lasts very long. But for the front light, I always use a USB power front light, so I don't have to worry for those spare batteries or anything, because the power bank which I use is 20,000 mAh, so it lasts for 2 nights. So I don't have to worry for even battery backup also for front light.
Okay. And as you said, so your bike should be fit. So can you elaborate for beginners how you should fit your bike? Like in basic thing, what all like your seat height and your handle distance. So can you just elaborate in simple words? What is your bike fit?
So I would like to share my personal experience. So bike fit, somebody guided me, some knowledgeable person guided me in my initial days that bike fit is something, when you are on a bike, you should be very comfortable on it. You should not be stretching to reach the handlebars. You should not be like, you should not be feeling any you should not be feeling any discomfort while riding on the bike. So that is the bike fit. You don't need to go to a professional. So that is like what I had done. So at that point of time, there was no professional bike fitter in Nasik at that point of time. Now they are, and now it is there. So what I used to do, I used to always carry the Allen keys and those things with me. So wherever I used to feel that discomfort after riding about 40 kilometers, I used to feel that like saddle seems to be a bit high. So I used to reduce my height of the saddle. I used to feel that like my handlebar, I'm not able to reach out. So I used to take my saddle bit front. So I always used to do these permutation combinations. Once I was there in Pune, that I found that like my shoe is, I'm just not comfortable with my shoe. So I adjusted my cleat while on being on the training ride itself. So it took off a lot many iterations for me to reach to a level where I was very comfortable with my bike. And later, when I got my professional bike fit done, I got to know that the bike is already 100% exactly as per the professional bike fit recommendations. So whenever, like, it is just not that you need to get a professional bike fit done to adjust yourself. Wherever you feel comfortable, adjust it. Go on adjusting. You will find your comfortable position, and you will not feel generally any pain while riding.
Okay. So, for beginners or new cyclists, whenever you go in the shop for buying your new cycle, so you should always ask the shop owner ki, what is the proper size of cycle for me? Okay. Many times the beginners they see ki, no, this bike is looking good and the speed is good, so they'll end up buying a cycle which is not good for their height, which is not good for their size. So one thing I think we should always ask owner what all different sizes you have, what size fits for my height. Generally, when we as a cyclist go for buying a cycle, whenever what question we should ask owner? Like my height is 5'7", so which size will fit for me? Like it is, they generally come in small, medium, and large size. Okay, so this is experience of me what I have learned from all these eminent cyclists in our Nasik. So you should ask shop owner, give me proper bike size for me. You can show me the chart. There are different charts for different brands of cycle.
Yes.
So you should ask all these things to your shop owner. Like shop owners are there to, they are going to give us the good bike, but you have to have your homework before you're going to brought a new cycle. You know, you are spending so much money, and after doing 1 month ride, you get no, this cycle is giving me pain in my knee, in my back. So I think before buying a cycle only, you should be prepared with your homework. You should have search. You have done your research with your colleagues, your other friends. So that will give you a better cycle, and that will help you in riding proper way, right, sir?
Yes, so I'll tell three pains which I had suffered when, due to which like I needed that proper bike fit. I used to do iterations. I used to get shoulder pain here because that was the reason, because I was extending my arms a lot. So when I took my seat saddle in front, so that pain had gone. So my knee pain was there. That was due to the way I used to cleat and uncleat, and it took me about lot of time to understand what is the correct way to uncleat and cleat, because it was very difficult for one for figure out like what wrong I was doing, and I myself was doing it wrong way. So that thing, knee pain was one. Third was even saddle sores happened due to wrong bike fit. So that is very important. You should be very much comfortable. Your weight distribution of your body should be in three at 3 points: your handlebar, your pedals, and your saddle. So if your distance between your pedal and the height of the saddle is not correct, then you tend to take extra weight on your back. So that is not advisable, and you tend to get saddle sores. And you don't, and you just try to do land up into different saddles. You try different saddles, but the saddle sores don't go, and you don't realize that I should adjust my saddle height. So that is also one major thing.
Apart from the saddle height, anything saddle position you adjust? I mean, on long rides, any inclination to saddles or?
So like you can see my saddle, it is
Yeah.
quite inclined in front. So
Okay.
it is inclined because the saddle is designed in this way. I used to face a lot of problems with my previous saddle. Just a minute. I had a problem with my previous saddle, so I got this saddle from US, and this saddle did wonders for me. It is very slim saddle, so I used to get a lot of chaffing on my thighs when I used to, due to the continuous rotational motion. I used to get a lot of chaffing. Chaffing is like your skin gets bruised, it gets red. The skin just peels off. So a lot of chaffing used to happen. So with this saddle, it is quite narrow in the front. So this helped me to reduce that. Second thing, the angle in front, the angle also matters a lot. It should not happen that if the saddle is flat, then only it will help. You can do iterations by adjusting the angles, the height, taking the saddle front and back, so that you become comfortable in reaching out your handlebars. All these points matter a lot. You should have good bib shots that will help you prevent saddle sores and chaffing. You should not. You should apply some lubrication oil or chamois cream before you start the ride. That also helps. Always.
Many times
Not
in
for just always before the training ride, not just for the events. Lubrication is very important.
There's always on a marketing strategy that this bicycle has a suspension, so it will prevent the injuries. So what is your take on when the beginner is buying a cycle with suspensions and with disc brake? How should it should go? I mean, what is your advice on this?
I personally have never been fan of any suspension in the bike, because suspension always kills the power delivery which you are getting into the bike. So you are wasting your power. 10 to 15% of your power gets wasted in the suspension itself. So I am never a fan of suspension, and the wheels of the bikes are so large, so that and they just take away the vibrations of the road. If the wheels are small, then you get a lot of vibrations, but the bicycle wheels are as such so large in diameter that normal vibrations you don't generally feel. So it is just a selling point that it is having suspension. it doesn't actually, you don't need a suspension in a bike.
That's
Like
important.
it is one thing. And second thing you asked about disc brakes, the quality of disc brakes matter a lot. uh, in the mid segment or the low segment bikes, the I never recommend to go for a disc brake. Disc brake requires a lot of maintenance. The caliper brakes which we generally have in your bikes, they are less maintenance, so I generally prefer low maintenance stuff. Caliper brakes are better for me. And disc brakes, I'm never a fan. But in high end bikes, when stakes are high and performance matters a lot, at that point of time disc brakes help, because at times when we are doing rides and the rim gets some wobble, if it is a caliper based brake or one of your if it is a disc brake, then you can even continue riding your bike. But if it is a caliper based brake, you won't be able to ride your bike.
Okay.
So
So,
that depends on the performance as
Performance.
it goes. Yeah.
yeah, one more thing for bike fit, I would like to add, like beginners and when we started using bike. So on YouTube, you get many such videos where you yourself can fit your bike. It is very simple to fit your bike. You can just see the video on YouTube. It is a single Allen key and yourself and the video. You can definitely set your bike at home. No need to go to shop and tell him to take my measurements and do my bike fit at home only. By just seeing a simple video on YouTube and with single Allen key, you can definitely change the dimension of your bike, which will surely prevent all these injury during your ride. So I think that will be very helpful for the beginners and routine riders. You should, after this session, you should see some videos on YouTube and fit your bike properly. That will definitely prevent injuries in the future. So coming to next question, sir, I would like to ask you how you set your goals and keep motivated yourself for such a consistent riding in such a busy life you have.
uh, yes. So as my journey started, serious journey of cycling started from Nasik way back in November 2016. So I started with 300-kilometer breve of Dhule, Nasik Dhule, and it continued thereafter. So at that point of time, what was that first thing which there were two things which which helped me in kickstarting my journey. The first thing was that when I did that Dhule, Nasik Dhule breve, 300-kilometer breve, I finished that in about 12 hours 30 minutes of time. And that was my first breve, and people were just amazed like how a rider who is doing his who just has bought his bike 15 days back, and he's doing his first breve. He has done it in 12 hours 30 minutes or sometime. So the appreciation which I got, so that was my first kick, and I just got addicted to that appreciation. So that is one thing. Second thing is that when I used to see so lot many riders in Nasik, and there used to be continuously events happening and prize distribution going on. So I was standing in the audience. So that thing used to hit me a lot. So I used to feel that I'm not here to stand in audience. I should be there on the dais.
Yeah.
So, and I cannot go to dais by asking that I want to go to dais. People should call me that, yes, please come join us on the dais. So these two things, one is the appreciation which I used to get after doing something good. And second thing, which was from my inside, that I cannot stand in the audience now. I have to be on the dais. So that's killing attitude. That killer attitude helped me in just um, setting up few events in fast pace. That I bought my bike on 28th of October. That was Dhanteras, and I did 3 breves in November, all with good timings. I started preparing for Ultra Spice race in December itself, and the race was in January. I participated in 1,000-kilometer. Immediately after Ultra Spice race, I thought of doing something international, because I knew that if I keep doing some events in India, I would not get that stage. So I wanted to do some international event so that I just come into spotlight. So I planned to do race around Austria, and the race was in August. So there was a brief period of 4 to 5 months only for all the preparations, for the training, for everything, and I just did that. There were more than 90% of people who were just guiding me or stopping me not to go for race around Austria. But I
Okay.
was just finding those people in Nasik who were ready to help me out with everything. Those less than 10% who were ready to help me out. No, you can do it. Go. We are there to help you out. So that's why I have all the appreciation for Nasik. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult. So these two
Yeah.
things have always helped me.
So I think that inner spark should be there. Ki I have to do it, and at any cost, I have to do it. So nothing is impossible. What we seen in your video, 3 points. Nothing is impossible. Rukna nahi hai, and we can push yourself. So I just seeing that video. So these 3 points, I think, will keep everyone motivated. Ki nahi, I have to do something different. I have to prove myself, and I think when you start preparing yourself for such events, your fitness automatically develops, and you have to be in good fit body to do such long events. So I think on that part, I want to know ki how you prepare physically and mentally both for such long events. Like any physical training you do, and along with that also a mental training.
So physical training is very important, and that comes down to strength training. So I started. There was a prize distribution ceremony which was organized by the Breve, apna Nasik Breve group, and there I met Dr. Milind Pimprikar. So we were knowing each other before that. I posed a problem to Dr. Milind that I'm facing a lot of back pain. So saw that, like, he asked me like what sort of training you do. So I just told him I do a lot of cycling. So he asked me, "What of strength training?" So I like, it was a question mark. What strength training? I'm a cyclist.
Yeah.
I'm doing cycling training. I don't need to go for some gym or something like that. I just do cycling, and I just do cycling training. So he told, "Don't worry. You come to our physiotherapy uh, session there. Dr. Mustafa will guide you, and he will just help you out with this." So I joined there with the training of 2 months only. um, my physical fitness improved a lot, and that helped me a lot in doing much better in my training as well as my cycling races as well. So earlier, when before that physical strength training which I started in 2018, I used to just my body used to just give up, like it used to just crumble after the race. I was not having any further strength to just drive my vehicle back home or do something else. It used to be that physical breakdown used to be seen in my body. But after starting with the strength training, even after finishing the Golden Quadrilateral or the Leh Manali or the virtual race across America, I never felt that pain because the body had that strength to take the load of that event. And I used to drive my like Rahul is aware that after finishing the Golden Quadrilateral, I drove my vehicle back to
Yeah.
Pune from Delhi. So and so strength training is very important. And so if you ask like what strength training I do, so since last year I've just since 2020 I'm doing it myself. So I've broken down it into 4 days, and that those 4 days keep repeating. First day is the upper body, second day is the legs, third day is the abs, and fourth day is the stretching, complete
Okay.
stretching, no weights, nothing. So, and these 4 days keep repeating, and this has helped me tremendously. Last year, when I did virtual race across America, I think it was the physical strength which helped me sail through those 12 days of torture on the bike inside a room. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult. So, the strength training is very important. It is a must.
And what about mental fitness?
Yes, mental fitness. So when you do this lot of training, this mental fitness, I'm talking about myself. There are more methods to do it. So when I do this lot of training, so I sacrifice a lot of things which I don't feel that I'm sacrificing, but for others it seems that I'm sacrificing. So I do a lot of training on daily basis. On weekends I go for long rides. So my complete weekend is dedicated to cycling, those all 48 hours. So when I'm doing my events, so there are points when I tend to break down. So at that point, when I look back, that I've put in so lot of efforts to come to a stage where I'm right now. So I cannot uh, see myself breaking down at this point of time. So that training time session, that torture, those sacrifices, all those things help me mentally in just pushing myself despite all that pain and breakdown during the rides. There are many factors which happen during the ride, but I just sail through them. That, and only that's the mental strength. That mental strength helped me. The second mental strength is that there are so many people who have faith in me and I cannot let them down. So that
Yeah.
also helps me a lot.
So, like many people, you are watching, what Bharat is going to do or how he'll finish the event. So those many followers are there. So you have to keep. They have faith on you. So I think those challenges you have to complete in a proper way, and their expectations should be fulfilled. So followers are there all over across the India. Now I have seen you riding what I have done with you, Golden Quarter Letter. So many people come to meet you. So many followers are there. So their expectations need to be fulfilled properly. So I think that must be one of the point. Ki, nahi, I have to do it here. I can't leave such thing. Ki, we have seen कि नहीं in the night we used to call you भरत उठ जा, भरत उठ जा. तो रात को हम लोग देखते थे कि to set our goal we have to ride during day and night also. So during those point of time, once I realized कि why we are doing this, why you are doing this. तो कभी ऐसा point आया है कि यार लाइफ में कि राइड कर रहा हूँ 2000 किलोमीटर हो गए, अभी 4000 किलोमीटर बाकी है, and why I am doing this and how you overcome that negative thought?
This never happened in Golden Quadrilateral, but there was a ride way back in 2018 Ultra Spice race, 1750 kilometer. In that race, I think I had broken down and at around 950 kilometers, and I just told my crew chief Darshan Dubey, who is himself from Nasik. So I told him that I want to quit. I just don't want to continue the event. There were various reasons. There were physical reasons. There was mental reasons. The position in which I am riding in the race was one of the reasons. So these three reasons amalgamated. So Darshan asked me, "Okay, आप क्या करोगे? Ride नहीं करोगे तो मैंने कहा कि मैं रेस्ट करूंगा." तो he just told me, "Okay, you go and rest." So I took rest for 8 hours in between the ride. I took rest of 8 hours. I went to a hotel, slept there for about 7 hours, took a bath. Then again and then he told, okay, you have taken rest now. You're okay. I said, yes, I'm okay. So he told, like, now you start riding. So I had that advantage with me because I was having a good amount of lead with me. So that helped me take that 8 hours rest. Even after that rest, I could uh, resume my ride and get a podium position in that race. So that thing, it is just not you. You tend to break down. Your team is there who doesn't let you break down during the event.
Yeah. So you should have a proper team with yourself to motivate you to fulfill your dreams. It's not that Bharat will only do it. There are so many people behind the curtain with the success of Bharat. So I think that is the most important thing. What I have seen with your crew, I just done one single expedition. So, but that bonding and that careness for rider is always required. Because crew has to do a lot of things. What I've learned in a single expedition. So, what your thought on the crew?
So the crew members are the lifeline of the race. In one of the blog which I've written, it is there on my website. That there are three pillars of ultra cycling. One is the rider himself. and that is the smallest pillar. Second is the logistics, which is the second most important, and third is the most important, that is the crew, because it is the crew who takes care of the rider, who it is the crew who takes care of the logistics, and logistics includes the bike, the vehicle, all the equipment, medical equipment, nutrition. So or it is the crew who is taking care of all that 67% of the balance too, that is the 67%. So it is crew is the most important thing that keeps the event moving on despite all the problems, the bike breakdown, the rider breakdown, but it is the crew who never break down. So the credit goes to Darshan Dubey, who has been crew chief for in most of the events, and lot many people from Nasik who have been part of my journey. Neeta Narang is there, Mahinder Mahajan, Hitendra Mahajan, Rahul Sunamne himself. Other than that, Aniket is there. A lot many people. Like, I'm sorry if I'm not taking some of the names, but yes, there are a lot of people. The credit goes to for my success where I'm right now.
Okay. So during this pandemic of COVID, how you keep yourself moving?
So I think this is a good time to train yourself to get into the best form, whatever you think for yourself. If you are inside the home, you can do a lot of strength training, dedicate 3 hours. Like I used to dedicate 3 hours to my strength training, and about last year before Virtual Race Across America, I'm telling that was a close to about 3 to 4 months of period, and 7 to 8 hours to my riding. So that was a golden opportunity, and other than that, I was just sleeping. So I used to just eat, train, and sleep. Eat, train, sleep, nothing else.
Okay.
And now also I'm following that because due to the lockdown, I'm stuck at home.
Okay. Over to ma'am.
Yeah, your journey, everybody has now seen what all achievements you've done. So can you just share which is your challenging ride in all throughout your journey? Can you share some experience of your challenging ride and why it was a challenging ride for you?
I would share, like, there are two. I'll divide it into two things. Which was one of the best technical rides, technical or strategical ride, and the other ride will be the ride which is the most successful ride. So the first one is the Ultra Spice race of 1,750 kilometers, which was from Goa to Ooty and back. It was in January 2019. So this was the ride which was planned as a precursor to the Race Across America attempt in 2019, which I was doing as solo rider. And the complete crew which was supposed to crew me for Race Across America, we were doing it, and this was taken as a simulation ride. So that was like perfectly executed. Our sleep breaks were executed as we had planned. Physiotherapy, the fast pit stops were very fast, and we were like, our confidence was skyrocketing after that ride. After the Ultra Spice 1,750 kilometer ride, we were like best prepared for the Race Across America attempt in June 2019. So that boosted our confidence. As a result matters, like we stood on, our team stood first in that race, and I did the course record still stands for that course of 1,750. It was for 95 hours 47 minutes. And the second ride, which is the like most successful ride or the most good ride, that is the Virtual Race Across America, where I stood on podium. I stood third and became the first podium finisher for any ultra cycling event from India in any international event. So that was really tough. It was like 12 days of torture, and we stood for the test of time, and it was very difficult on the last day also to retain my third position. But we, as a complete team, we were able to do that and retained our position, and it is a proud moment for India also.
Yeah, we have witnessed that. So which is more easier, riding outside or riding indoor?
Earlier I used to feel that riding outside is easier, and now I'm feeling that riding inside is easier because I can always watch Netflix, Prime. I can watch movies along with my rides.
so these are COVID benefits.
So
the pandemic benefits, you can say.
So earlier I used to get bored while I was riding indoors, but now I really enjoy riding indoors.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's one question from viewer ki during your K2K ride, for how many hours you took a sleep? The total hours of sleep during your K2K expedition.
Mm, After the event finished, there was a complete. After the event finished, there was a complete gist of the complete duration, like every hour what I had done and when I had slept. So, approximately, I had taken about in those 8 days, I had taken about 17 to 18 hours of sleep for those
Okay.
for that complete
Well,
duration.
so if we consider for every day, I think less than 3 hours, less
Yes,
than
yes,
2 hours. Yeah.
Yes.
So really tough
yes.
and
Because
difficult thing.
initial 2 days it was very less sleep. The reasons were many. Uh, I was like motivated enough to ride also. That was also one of the reason, but there were other reasons as well. Later on, like it started with 2 hours or 3 hours, and if on average I see it was close to about 2.5 hours of sleep per day.
Okay.
As you mentioned, there were challenging rides, there were break points, but still you kept moving, riding, pedaling. So why this bearing the pain, and what is the reason that?
So yes, so pain is an integral part of any event, and the rider and leave cycling. The person in any athletic event, the person who takes the maximum pain, because everybody is feeling that pain. It is not that the person who is coming first is not having pain. He is also having the same pain as the person who is coming standing last in the event. Uh, so it is the ability to take pain, the amount of pain you are capable of taking, uh, and still riding, still pursuing your goal. So that takes you as towards the position of the leader. And I think the ability to take the pain comes from the mental strength and the will to come first or stand on the podium. So if you are having a goal that yes, I have to be there, I have to be there, my mind is focused towards that finish point, and I have to be there. I'm seeing that all that appreciation, I'm seeing all that kick which I'll get after with all that messages on the Facebook, Instagram, personal, when I visit someone. So if I'm seeing all those things, so I just forget the pain which is happening to me.
Pain part. So
Yeah,
appreciation is
exactly.
the most rewarding for you to bear the pain.
It can, yes, for me that works, and that is one thing. Second is like I told previously that I cannot see myself in the audience. I want to see
Okay.
Yeah.
myself
Yeah,
on
you want to see on the podium finisher, right?
So that hunger is necessary to be there on the
yes,
stage and to get those trophies.
yes,
So that I think everyone then finishes the pain, or they just forget those pains once they finish the ride and the people come around to cheer you, to celebrate your success. I think whenever you are doing so many long hours ride, you think yourself, no, yeah, knee is paining, leg is paining. But once at the finish point, when there are so many friends there to greet you, to cheer you, I think all those pains vanishes at 1 second, and that really give that good feeling to any athlete, I think. So everyone should follow those things. No, I have to do it. I have to do it, and I have to do it, because at the end of any event or at the end of any fitness activity, there are so many people around me to whom I will be motivating, to whom I will be encouraging. So, like, you are the person to who many people follow all over across the India. So that is the thing. I think one more important point.
Yeah, sir wants to say something.
yes,
Yeah.
there is a key to reduce that pain, and that key is that if you train hard, if you sweat a lot during training hours,
Yeah.
so and you train for that event, you train mentally, physically, strength training, so all those things help you just sail through that event. That pain reduces because you are better prepared for that. If you're not better prepared, then you are bound to get more and more pain.
So can you share your life principles to guide our cyclist to follow you to as a ultra cyclist?
So as life principles, whether it be like getting admission into my engineering college, preparing for that, then preparing for my job, that is army. Then third, there are other like milestones in life. Fourth is like cycling, as you all see. So everything boils down to that single thing, that make a goal for yourself and prepare yourself for that goal. And hard work never goes waste. You will always get something out of it. uh, and that just keeps me moving. So always set a goal, and the goal should be with a timeline. So if a goal is without a timeline, that is never a goal. So goal should be
Yeah.
with a timeline, and goal can be small, big. If the goal is big, then the timeline is big, and your preparation time is longer. If the goal is small, then the timeline has to be smaller.
Yeah. So coming to our last part of our discussion on lighter note, we'll be asking you a few questions. You have to answer in a single word. The first one, your favorite cycling place, Nasik or Bangalore?
Nasik.
Yeah. So we have learned so many during the discussion. The success behind your so many events, I think Nasik has played very crucial role. So we were also expecting the same answer. The second one, your first love, cycling or your work?
Cycling, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. And the
Yeah.
as a indoor cyclist now, right now you are seeing so many movies and Netflix. So which is your favorite movie, Chak De India or DDLG?
Chak De India.
Yeah,
That gives that adrenaline rush.
Check in.
yeah, that's what. So thank you very much, sir, for sharing your such a wonderful experience with us, all our doctor team from Nasik. And we have our president of Nasik IMA, Hemant Sonani, sir. So I would request sir to say a few words.
Thank you, Rahul. It was wonderful session, wonderful listening to Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Pannu, and beautifully conducted by you, Rahul and Kiran madam. This is a nice movement we are running on fitness activities. We have a wonderful group in Nasik IMA who are fitness lovers, fitness followers, and we want to enhance and encourage this movement to take on a larger scale. And while doing this, we are trying to learn the basics of all these things, do's and don'ts from the experts. And when it is coming from the experts like Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Pannu, it is not only a guidance, it is not only an education, but it is a whole lot more bigger experience than that. It is very rewarding, very motivating, very inspiring for all of us. And I have no doubt that all of us are going to take a very positive message from this session. And I hope we have many more sessions like this in coming future. Over to you, Rahul and Kiran madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are so many take-home messages from today's discussion. But in one point, to summarize what I would like to say, there's nothing impossible. रुकना नहीं है, and we can limit yourself at any level to fulfill your dreams. So now I request our secretary ma'am to say a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you to our speaker for today, Bharat Pannu sir, man on mission. Salute to your dedication, passion, organization, planning, persistence, and mental resilience. And most importantly, the mindset. Very informative and inspiring session, especially for our Nashik bikers who are aiming very high in this bike journey. It's their life. Thank you, Dr. Rahul Sonwani sir and Dr. Kiran Rajore to conduct this fitness interview. And thank you, the fitness team, to bring such a star on this platform. Thank you to our team IMA. We are conducting all the Fit Fridays with the help of our team. And thank you to our technical assistant Pallavi madam for conducting this smooth session. I also thank all our fitness enthusiasts who had been actively participating in all the Zoom session, especially this session was I could see many of the the team members who were there and had also involved in putting up their questions. So this was overall a very inspiring lecture. Thank you all for participating. Over to you, Kiran.
Thank you, sir, for being with us and sharing your experience. And this is going to be really motivating, inspiring. I can see the chat section and everybody is appreciating your take-home messages. And there's so many saying hi to you, Manisha Ronda, madam. And definitely you have a lot of memories with Nasik. And it was good to hear that you started your journey from Nasik. So it is a proud moment for us also. And all the very best for your further coming up endurance rides. All the best. I hope we'll catch you up again on a next session.
Yeah, sure. I want to add one more thing. It is just not that Nasik is
Yes,
close
sir.
to me for just for cycling. There's one more thing which a lot of people who were along with me did in Nasik. That was we planted 5,000 trees next to Sula Vineyards, and there were lot many people who helped me for helping me out. Like Dr. Manisha ma'am was a big pillar for helping me out in establishing that. Dr. Miss Neeta was there. So that 5,000 trees will become a forest in few days, and that will be like a my connection with Nasik, which will always be there. So it is just not that I'm doing cycling; it is something else also which connects me to Nasik. Those 5,000 trees will be part of Nasik, are part of Nasik, and it is like a gift from my side to Nasik.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you very much.
With support of
And-
all, with support of
yeah.
everyone.
What surprises there are in the future? Last question.
Yes.
What
Surprises?
surprises we are going to see in future from Bharat Pannu?
So if I tell the surprise, it will not be a surprise.
So wait
Yeah.
and watch.
Wait and watch. So stay tuned.
Wait
Stay
and
tuned.
watch. Coming soon. Coming soon.
Coming soon. The Man on Mission. Definitely, we are going to see some adventurous races from the Man on Mission. And the best of luck for all your future rides, your expedition. We are there, all Nashik IMA team, to support you for your all future rides. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
So we
It was
conclude our
lovely talking
session.
to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye bye.